We need to talk about something. Well, what is that something? It is about AI, artificial intelligence, and the data centers, and what are they continuing to do to the environment? Well, if you do a little bit of research, there's a lot of great videos out there about exactly what these big, huge tech companies are doing to these, these small towns essentially. Basically, what's going on is these big AI data centers are taking the resources from these small towns, mainly water. Water is kind of the main culprit here, because obviously, when you have a data center, you need to be able to cool it. Think of about, okay, for example, let's just go on a micro level here. Think about your laptop, okay? How do we cool it down? With a fan, okay? The laptop has a fan in it. Usually, it has a battery. But when you're charging it, okay? So when you're charging the battery, you need electricity. And a lot of times, what does electricity come from? Well, on the bigger scale, there's different things. There's the wind, so the solar winds, but how are those activated? A lot of the times you need water. Okay, so water is kind of a big thing for electricity to be able to design these things. And the issue isn't necessarily, artificial intelligence in itself. That's a whole nother point of conversation. But what we need to really focus on is these big tech companies. They are going into these rural communities that, I don't know, sometimes in the desert, a lot of the times on farmland near small towns. I just watched a whole video about Tommy G, and exactly, I'll put the link in the description for it. Basically, they're going out and they're buying these towns. So they are saying that this will create jobs and that it will be good for the infrastructure. Okay? But the issue with that is it was a lie. They said there would maybe be, 1,000 jobs. A lot of the times, if you look in these records, there's only a couple hundred, if not 100 jobs being made. And you know what? Even if there are 1,000 jobs being made, as soon as it's done and over with, you think those people are going to stay there? No, they're not. Okay? And why I'm making this video is because I live in a land where there's a lot of farmland. Okay? And that is something right now that these big tech companies are trying to buy. And I worry that, at some point over time that it could get to the place where I live. And I'm seeing these communities deconstruct themselves because of this awful thing. And what else is happening is there's these noises. So the properties of the home value, essentially, they are going down in value because these big, these big tech companies are coming in, building these big factories, and it's having these buzzing noises. Here, I'll put the video up.
Since Microsoft started constructing its $3.3 billion AI data center in Mount Pleasant in late 2023, Donald Briggs and his neighbors have gotten used to the noise.
So you're not anti-data center?
No, we're not anti-data center.
That is until earlier this month, when a new sound started invading their homes.
It's just a high-pitched drone sound.
I can hear it inside my house, and that's what concerns me.
This is where, as far as our ears can tell, the sound is coming from. Microsoft's project website says that these data centers here behind me on the southern part of the campus will be operational later this year.
Briggs says he could cope with noisy construction because he knew it was temporary. But as the first center gets close to completion...
So you're concerned that this noise could be more long-term?
Definitely. And louder.
Microsoft right now has plans for more than 15 data centers in Mount Pleasant. In a statement to 12 News, a Microsoft spokesperson says they're aware of the noise concerns raised about their Mount Pleasant facility, and they're investigating the root cause and hope to share an update soon. Microsoft on its website lists 4 main reasons for data center noise: servers, vehicles, backup generators, and cooling equipment. The tone isn't traffic, and Microsoft says server noise is limited to inside the data centers. No matter the source, Briggs says the key to fixing it is communication. He says he's called Microsoft to complain, but hasn't gotten a response.
Actually, I got more success talking to you and Channel 12 than I got from them.
Are you going to be able to stick it out if it's like this?
Well, depends on how bad it gets.
In Mount Pleasant, Emily Pofall, WISN 12 News.
Because of this, who wants to buy a home that 24/7 has a buzzing noise? Nobody in their right mind would want to buy a home, so these people are getting screwed, okay? They didn't ask for this. Many were opposed to it, okay? But, all of a sudden, whether it's the city council or whatever politics are in place at that time, they are making it. They are doing it because they think that it's going to help push their small town to a booming economy. But it's doing the opposite. It's making the utilities higher. It's taking away resources. It's contaminating their water. And that to me is just not right. Okay, I'm not an opponent of AI or artificial intelligence. I think that it's a breathtaking technology. It's amazing. Okay, I love ChatGPT. I love Gemini. I love being able to easily alter pictures or make games with it, or have help me with lines of coding or just ideas, or just someone to help me understand my mind. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. I am for AI. I like the idea of AI. I think we cannot stay still as a society, but you're telling me these giant tech giants do not have a better way than screwing these towns out of water, or reducing their water, contaminating their water? There has to be a better way than that. You got the most talented people. Okay, you have the most talented people who are very bright-minded, very smart, and you're telling me there's not a way. So their idea, they will tell everybody that their idea is they're going to reuse the water. However, the issue with that is it's not being done as efficiently as they're saying it is. It's still contaminating the water, and especially when they're making these things in the desert. Okay, when you have a desert and the water and resources is already scarce, and now you're using even more of the supply. And it's just this is going to continue happening. And their argument, so this is in America, okay? But their argument is, if we don't do it, China's going to beat us to it. Okay, yes, that is reasonable, potentially, for what, another country might do with it. However, you guys are smart. You guys are you guys created this type of thing. You guys are geniuses. Come up with a way that's not going to screw these towns over, and at least be a little more transparent. Hey, we're going to build these big factories and it's going to completely plummet your town, your house's value. Is there compensation for that? There should be compensation for these people who are losing their homes, or losing the value in their home. And I can talk my butt off about this, but what I'd rather do is I'm going to show you in a Minecraft video exactly how this is being operated and why it's being operated, so you have a visual. Okay, so if you'll join me kindly to my Minecraft screen, let's go. See here, I am in a nice little town, in a nice little village. It's nice, everything seems to be going well. The properties, the values, everyone's happy, okay? Nothing too wrong. It's just an ordinary town. And then all of a sudden you go to City Hall and they're saying that, a big AI data center is going to start bringing in some jobs. And then people start to panic a little bit. They start to go a little ballistic. Now, after everything's said and done, so your nice little community that you had, really nice, friendly, happy, nothing too serious. Then all of a sudden, just slightly a little bit away, you look behind, and now you see a big data center. And what's it using to cool down its generators and its things? The town's water. Now, maybe that's not such a big deal until you really look at the statistics of how much water that they're actually using. So let's just pretend for a moment that I am in the data center itself. Let's just get some of its town's water. No, that's not that much. No. Look, there's still plenty of water left, right? Wow. Look at that. Holy smokes. Now, I'll put the number on the screen on how much water, how many gallons of water a day this actually uses. Wow, not too much, is it? Now, I know you hear my clicking, but think of the click as each time. That's only a micro scale of how much water is being used. Slowly each day draining the town's resources. And on top of that, because of the other factors that play into things, it's going to also be contaminated. Now, you can't drink it. Oh great, we can't drink our own frickin' water. How's that for something? Yeah. So, you start to be able to kind of understand the town's frustration. And a lot of these people are, they're kind of coming off as if they're looking crazy, but they're rightfully pissed off, okay? Rightfully so. And it's not going to get any better. So, I'm not someone who has a solution, but these people have billions of dollars. I'm sure they can find something better to do, okay? I'm not saying, again, I'm not against it, but come on. There's better things to do. Because, would you really like it if someone came to your town, took your water and your resources, and now you can't even drink it, and your utility is going up? It's not fun for these people, and that's why I'm making this video, okay? It's just not. So, I guess that's my pet peeve of the day. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and that you all stay safe, and we just, as humans, as a society, we have been through ice ages, we've been through so many things in life, and let's get through this one together. Use this new form of technology for good, not for bad. I hope you like and subscribe, and you all have a nice day.